Rev up your engines.
T says, Chrysler or Chevy? Well, here we go. Do you want to be in the frying pan or do you want to be in the fire? I'd have to say out of those, I'd have to go Chevy, because Chrysler, when they got bought by Fiat, they were bad enough to begin with, and they got worse and worse and worse. And some of the Chevys, at least, can be okay. Some of their pickup trucks are decent pickup trucks. But Chrysler, I can't say much good about hardly any of their products. So I'd have to say Chevy on that one, and not Chrysler Fiat, because they're just that was a marriage made in Hades when Fiat bought Chrysler. Zip 187 says, is a Chevy Cruze a good car to buy a teenager? It could be for a couple of reasons. One, they don't go that fast, and the other is they break all the time, so if it's broken they can't drive it and get in a wreck. They're not very good cars. They just aren't. But on the other hand, if you're getting a used one dirt cheap, don't pay a lot of money for the first car you get them, because they're probably going to wreck the thing. Got airbags on it to be safe enough, but don't think you're going to buy one and it's a good investment. They're just pieces of junk. As they age, they're terrible cars. Don't hold up. But that said, somebody was selling a used one with lower mileage on it. You can get it dirt cheap. They're going to smash it up anyways, probably, so go ahead. 1994 Toyota Super Wheeler Built says, Scotty, what do you think of the new Tesla Model 3? They were building them in the parking lot and their quality control was garbage. They claim that they're better now. Musk is using his head now. Turns out that he's building a factory in China where he's going to build Teslas. Because I thought, if he's building them in the United States, the Chinese will just undercut him. And they'll make the same type of car, sell it cheaper, and take his business away. But he's a smart enough guy. He's going to be making them in China, too. And I guarantee you, probably, he'll end up making most of the Model 3s in China. And then he'll make the more expensive ones in the United States for the rich snobs that don't care if they pay 120 grand for an electric car. And the people that want to buy cheaper ones, he'll make them in China. It's a good business decision on his behalf. You know, he was touting the thing that it was all made in America, this, that, and everything else, but hey, I guess he saw the handwriting on the wall, and he's building the factory right now as we speak in China, so I'm sure he'll make a lot of cars there a lot cheaper, and that's how he'll get away from his expense of building them in the United States, because the cost of production, and then he started laying people off. Well, him building that factory in China explains all that. Heineken Puerto Rico says, what about an MR2 Toyota 2000 Spider? Those can be excellent vehicles. They don't make them anymore. Toyota was never really a sports car company. Whenever they started to make them, you know, they try something, and if it didn't sell a billion of them, then they give up. Those Spiders were good vehicles. I got a customer that's got one. It's a great vehicle, a lot of pickup. They're not tremendous gas mileage vehicles because they're zippy. For a smaller car, they really don't get great gas mileage. They're really dependable, they're fun to drive around, and they never made it into the collector's circle, so you can always get them for a decent price. It's not like you're going to pay a ton because it's a collector's items. They made enough of them that it's a mass-produced car, so you get a good price on one. Hey. Metroid Mayhem says, Scotty, what's your favorite motor? Well, my favorite motor was the motor that was in the 2013 Shelby Cobra GT 500. I had one for a week. That was the last Shelby Cobra that Carroll Shelby had anything to do with. He died a few weeks before it was finally sold and released to the public. That was a sweet motor. It had 667 horsepower, had low grunt, high grunt, mid-range grunt. That was a really good V8 engine. I like the sound of a V8 engine, but that said, that was a modern V8 engine. That had quad overhead cams. You take the Vet engines and the Dodge Hellcat engines, those are V8 engines, but they're still old dinosaur pushrod engines. And Cobra, that had the overhead cam. It was a more zoomy engine as far as I was concerned. Prometeo Flow says, Scotty, have you ever driven exotic cars? Yeah, all the time. I work on them. You know, they're a pain in the butt to get parts for. They are fun to drive, but they're all money pits. It's just exotic explains it all. Just like an exotic women. They're expensive, you know. High upkeep. I've worked on Ferraris, Maseratis, Bentleys. Well, I guess you wouldn't call Bentley an exotic car. Super expensive. I would never buy one. I mean, they're fun toys for rich guys, but they values plummet so far. You buy a new one, you lose all your money. You buy a used one, then you throw all your money into it fixing it. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.